All right. If you if you would like to see how I start, we can go with you know what? Let's one really tough year. We want we'll turn I want to turn the blood level off. We'll just change that back to a really tough year. No worries at all. Now, your profession. Basically, your profession should basically determine your playstyle to begin. For the entirety of the session. No worries at all, Veinseeker. I'm not far from finishing anyway, so that's why I thought that this would be a good time to do it. So, your profession early on should determine how you play your character, for all intents and purposes. So, in the case of, say, the fireman. Nope, not that one. That's not the one I wanted. That was the one where I'd given myself extra points for a standard run. Challenge fireman. There we go. So these are the traits I usually pick. This is purely for my own playstyle. No, I haven't died Ickers. It's all good. As I explained, Punky was saying that she would like to see how us more experienced players start on these insane settings, and I'm soon to finish up anyway, so I figured this would be a good time to give an example. Now, these are my traits. I always choose quite a long list of traits because there are a lot of things that I want in positive traits as well. I always alternate between strong and fit, and athletic and stout. I always like to take at least one practical skill. So in the case of carpentry, in the case of handy, you get +1 carpentry and maintenance, which gives you a bonus to your experience gain for those two skills. The new character is just to show people how to start in the One Painful Year challenge. So this is me actively selecting my traits. We'll have +10 because I'm using the fire officer. I have played as a cop. As I said, the play style for that is kind of tricky. Anyway, this is the fireman build. So basically, as the fireman, I would spend more time fighting. Early on, number one, your main priority for the very beginning of the game should always be to find shelter or to find a backpack so that you can carry stuff. And whether or not you stay in an area or leave should depend on what kind of access you have to things. You can show me in the Discord a bit later, Ninkiran. In any case, so with the fire officer, I would be a little bit more combative. So we're going to go with good old Molly Wilson, because good old Molly. We're just going to load up. We're going to see where we start now. Depending on where I start, that'll determine whether what I do to begin with. If I start in an area that's generally pretty well overpopulated, I will leave. Especially if I don't have any access to any weapons or tools. If I end up in a less populated area, then I might stick around. It all depends. It all just depends on how I feel. But sometimes I will also take some risks. It all just depends. So I don't know how familiar you are, like everybody is, with the map, but all right. So this is not an ideal start at all. No, I didn't die, Miss K, it's alright. So, as you can see, we've spawned right in the middle of the road. We are just down the road from the intersection to Rosewood. This is the worst luck start. This is probably as bad as it's. Well, actually, no, this isn't as bad as it's going to get. But we've got Molly. We should be good. So this is for the record, Ms. K. If this is basically just an example of how to get started in the One Painful Year challenge. So as you can see, we're in a pretty good spot. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. We've spawned right in the middle of the road, just south of Rosewood. So we're a couple of hundred meters away from the intersection to Rosewood. Now, as you can see, I don't have a weapon, and I can't see a weapon nearby. So I'm just going to avoid the hordes of zombies that are following me. Now, I will say the fact that we've spawned outside of a building, the fact that we've spawned on the road with no weapons, no tools, and we're near Rosewood. Well, Rosewood is actually one of the worst places to start. It's better than West Point. It's worse than Riverside. So that's pretty much it. You see all these zombies coming for me. Just ignore them. The biggest trick to remember when it comes to Project Zomboid is that unless you have sprinters on, at your normal walking speed, you are always faster than zombies unless you are crippled or exhausted. Well, see, the thing is, I'm not especially familiar with the map. I don't know much about the map at all, funnily enough. Alright, so one thing about this challenge is you got to remember loot on the fly. If you can, you run inside, you check to see if there's anything inside that you can grab quickly. But prioritize, in my case, I always use high thirst because water is easy to come by. Now there are a couple of places that you can pretty reliably get a hold of some equipment. Oh, there's a katana up there. You never know, I might be able to get a hold of it. But this is the kind of thing that you need to watch out for. So naturally, there are a lot of zombies after me. That katana's probably going to be gone by the time I come back for it. I have to make a decision as to whether I'm going to go for it, whether I'm going to risk it or not. Probably better if I don't. So I just realized too, no, there's no food in there. There's only the rotten salmon. Okay, so if you're trying to kite a zombie because you've seen a weapon in one that you want to grab, what I've done is I've kited around the building, see if I can break line of sight. I might get lucky. The katana zombie might have separated from the rest of the pack. If it hasn't, no, there it is. Okay, so the katana zombie's the one up the front. I should theoretically be able, if I can push him down and get him away from his friends, we should be okay. Okay. Yep. So, as you can see, it's going to be a little bit too painful to get him away from his friends. We're going to have to leave him. Which means that by the time we do finally get to a point where we could probably come back... He's gone towards the back now. I might do one more loop around the building and we'll see if we can get to him. Biggest trick, don't sprint unless you have to. And when it comes to stealthing, while you're in stealth, you use up 3 times the amount of stamina that you would normally use. So try to avoid doing that as well, unless you're trying to actively level your stealth skills. Okay, so that's quite a lot of those guys there, but that's all right. While I'm panicked, I'm also less effective in combat, as everybody knows. There's 2 zombies there. Yep. Yeah, okay. So we're not going to be able to get the katana. It was nice. Well, actually, if I can get him, if I can kill him, knock him down, kite the zombies away, and then even if I could turn him into a crawler, that would be enough. Yeah, but he's... You've pretty much completed the 1-year challenge, 12 days. We gotta see if we can get a drink in here anyway, because as you can see, we're thirsty. That's a bit of a problem. So, alright. Now the only reason I did that was because I knew I had enough time to grab the bottle of orange pop. Now we don't have to drink it just yet. Remember, we're only slightly thirsty. The pipe wrench was second priority. I didn't have enough time to grab it, so... Now, with the orange pop, it's a good substitute for something that we can actually, or for a bottle of water which we can automatically drink. We might even be able to go back in there to see if we can get the pipe wrench. Who knows? We might even get lucky and get Katana Zombie. Try to avoid walking on broken glass as well, because it does damage your shoes. Yeah, we're not going to have time to get anything out of there, so we're just gonna leave. There might be a car key on the ground somewhere, who knows, but we're not going to bother. But my first priority when it comes down to this is getting home. Now, when you get... whenever you get a bottle or can of pop, if you don't have any other alternative, any water, for example, you can use a quarter of this every time you take a drink to fully restore your thirst. Yeah, the trick is just move, just keep moving. If you think it's all about judging. So you'll see a shop that you'll be walking past a shop. You'll notice your character's thirsty. You'll see a shop that usually has pop or water bottles or that sort of thing. So it's really a judgment call as to whether or not you think you can be quick enough to get in, get a bottle of pop, and then get out. The trick is to not be too greedy. Don't run in and grab everything that's not nailed down. Prioritize first and foremost water. Second, tools, weapons. Third, food. I would argue food or equipment, simply because you can afford to let your character go hungry for a couple of days, even with the even though I'm using the very underweight trait. We've still got plenty of time before Molly starts getting starts being negatively affected by hunger. But first and foremost, your first priority should be getting a hold of things that would help you immediately, not things that would help you later on. So to begin with, you want somewhere to shack up. You want to be if you end up finding a whole bunch of things, maybe make a note of where they are. Leave them and come back for them once you have a place to put them. Greed is very difficult to overcome. As you saw, I was struggling with it just then because there was a katana hanging out of a zombie. Now, if I'd have stayed there to try and take the katana, I would have died. See, so we've got another zombie here. He's got a hand axe. The thing is, weapons are generally easy to find. It's whether or not they're easy enough to get a hold of. That's the question. As we can see, I've already got basically I'd want an axe because, well, I'm proficient with axes. I'd get more experience with axes. It means that I would be more effective with them. So we've got a little dirt road here outside of Rosewood. I can tell you this area is going to be horrible. Now, the benefit to it being nearly nighttime is that while I'm not going to be able to see very well, the zombies aren't going to be able to see very well either. Yes, Trailer Park is AIDS. I hate to say it. We can go and have a look, but... Now, generally speaking, I always try to find either a vehicle or shelter before nightfall of the first day, because it is always going to be really difficult if you don't find a place to settle in. Now, whether that means that you spend the entire first day just killing zombies on your front doorstep, just so that you have a place to sleep for that night, or you run and you duck and weave in and out of houses, through the bushes and so on and so forth to try and lose a tail, well, yeah. Yeah, early on I would argue that the car is indeed the best weapon that you will find. There's no zombies there with any weapons, but this house we should be able to get into. Now, as you can see, we've got a big pack of zombies chasing us. Naturally, I don't want to go in through the front door of this house. So, what we're going to do is what any reasonable person would do. They're going to go around it. Now, we're not just losing them because we want to get into this house specifically. There is another house further down this way that we can get into. In fact, it could also be worth our time to yell to attract the zombies. That's all of the zombies that would be around this house. We're going to take another sip of our drink because we are thirsty again. As we can see, there's more here. So what we do, we just... Now, I already saw that there were no zombies behind these trees. Don't forget, But if there's even a single tree in your way... that's unlucky. Okay, well... Yeah, that is just a case of rotten luck. Now, I may not be in the best of positions right now. You can hear there's a zombie walking over broken glass. There are 2 ways in, 2 ways out, and I can guarantee to you there are quite a lot of zombies outside. At least outside this house. So, what we can do to check what our situation is like outside the door. If we are quick, we can, even if there's a zombie standing right outside the door, we can open and close the door without being noticed. There's a zombie that's trying to open a door out there. There's a zombie that's decided he's going to come in. Yep. Okay, so I kind of had a feeling that that might happen. Now, because that alarm went off, there'll still be zombies wandering this way. There'll also be a lot of zombies around that house, so we want to avoid that house as much as possible. Yep, but that also makes noise. Stomping on zombies is incredibly loud, and it attracts a lot more. Oop, now we've just tripped over and hurt ourselves, and it's our leg too, so that's very unlucky. Alright. Now we don't want to run at the moment because we've got an injured leg that'll wear us out really quickly. But let's see. Righto. We don't really want to be there. No, I haven't died, Alvin. Notice how the death counter's not there? Alright, so we're at the main town. Right. Now, I'm pretty familiar with Rosewood, so this is easy enough for me. However, I've noticed there's a boarded up house here. So, I'm making a mental note of it to come back later. Because when there's a boarded up house, I know there's usually good things in it. Now, in my case, good things translates to shotgun. As everybody knows. Now, if we are lucky, we'll be able to find a key over here. So what is happening here at the moment, Alvin, or Mortis, I am... Punky Roo made a point of mentioning that she would like to see how us more experienced players of Project Zomboid, or specifically of the One Painful Year challenge, get ourselves started. Now, unfortunately, the first I decided because it was almost time for me to finish up anyway, I would I'd put my challenge on hold, just so that I can give everyone a good idea of how we do it. Now, I'm not liking my chances here at the moment. Yeah, so Rosewood is not the best of places to be at all. There we go. So there's a number of reasons as to why I say that one of the best options is to find shelter before nightfall, is because A, you can't see shit. Zombies might not be able to either, but the difference between them and you is the fact that you get tired and you also suffer from the cold. They do not. So, you'll also notice that I am slowly approaching the fence when I have time, and manually pressing E to climb over because... Oops. Now that's a nice looking car. I don't know, it looks like it's in good condition. It could very well not be. Okay, there's a car over there. We could make a break for that key and see if the car is functional. And there's a zombie with an axe. See, this is where I'm being tested. Yes, I do, Punky. Yes, I do. We might get lucky and find this fossil oil car pickup has got a key in it. 9 times out of 10 they have gas tanks in them, which is usually good. This time we've been a bit unlucky, there isn't one. Alright, so we've got this key. Yeah. See, that was me realizing I'd just made a mistake. The mistake was jumping into the car while I had a huge pack right on me. Now we are a little bit slower than we normally are, but we're still faster than they are at walking speed, so we're okay. Early on, I would have too, Wise, don't worry. The only reason I didn't is because I've done this enough times to know how to do it properly. Look, a lot of the things that I do that you see me in my playthroughs are things that you probably shouldn't do. That, as I said, that was me realizing at the last second that I'd made a mistake and I needed to get out. And I only had a very short amount of time to think about it. So, like, one of the biggest problems, of course, is the fact that you're not, you know, you're battling against yourself as much as you are against these against the zombies. You're trying to make quick decisions. You might not be very good at making quick decisions early on, but this will teach you that you need to. Anyway, I might have enough time now to check to see how much gas is in it. There's no gas. I didn't think there would be, but there you go. So yeah, the hitboxes are very weird now. In any case, what I'm doing at the moment, we found a shelter. Not the best, it's not an ideal choice at all, but now, as long as we stay quiet, zombies shouldn't come looking for me. Now, in this situation as well, one of the drawbacks, of course, is that we don't have an easy escape. Now, we could check out the windows. Generally speaking, the zombies won't see you unless you make any noise. So all of the zombies have gathered at the back of the building, because that's where they saw me last. Now, I can see that there's not many zombies. Yep, that's basically it. Now, it's easy to worry about things like whether or not you're going to survive the fall. You will. If you're not carrying too much, you will survive, you will be just fine. You can easily jump out of a second-story building. Third-story building I wouldn't recommend, but yeah. But problem is, of course, as I said, Shinra, is that I've only had a little bit of time to try and loot. That's the problem. Now, of course, because we're playing a smoker as well, Molly is anxious, which means that if I go to sleep, it's very likely that I will wake up. And because I tripped over 2 fences in a row, because of course I did, we've got a hole in the left thigh of the pants. So these are the strongest pants in the game. I may wake. Well, yeah, we're getting chilly because we haven't had time to gather clothing, so I could very well wake up sick. I can guarantee that she will wake up in a panic because she's anxious. What we're going to do is we're going to speed up time a bit. So she's thirsty again. We're just going to leave that. We're going to sleep. So we're okay. The temperature's fluctuating a little bit between cold and sort of cool. Now, I can't really tell what time it is, so we're just going to speed up time until it gets lighter. There we go. Okay, as I mentioned before, you can get by on a quarter of a bottle of pop for 1 full round of thirst. That's full dehydration. I don't like getting to that point because, yeah, it's kind of scary. But here we go. So we've now got an empty bottle to fill up, to put water in. Now, I can't guarantee that there's not zombies below me because there's no way. Manually tell yourself to drink instead of automatically. I've never changed it. I just leave it as it is, to be honest. Click it. Like, it would be, I can see the benefit of it. Like, there is a certain benefit to being able to control when your character drinks at any time, but the problem is, though, like, you don't really have the option to do, to ration it by that much. Anyway, so we've opened a window. That's going to be our alternative escape if it comes to that. But what I'm doing is I'm checking to see if I need to use it. Now, I would not recommend doing that, because that is dangerous. Now, if I had clumsy, I would have been spotted easily. Yep, there's zombies at the base of the stairs, so the only way for me to get out would either be to sprint or to jump down the, jump out the window. Now, I can't guarantee, this is, I have to say, either choice that I make in this situation is risky, because I can't see anything directly beneath me. So if I jump, there's going to be a delay before I can move again. It's not going to be a huge delay, but when there's no zombies out the front of the building, so we've got to hope that there's nothing to the left or the right of me. That window with the broken glass there is more likely to have zombies behind it than that one that isn't broken. And I think I just saw one that actually just moved past just now. So we're taking a leap of faith. Okay. We've gotten lucky. As you can see, I didn't take any damage because I'm barely carrying anything. All I've got is one bottle of water. Now, if you're using High Thirst as a trait, I would recommend carrying on you at least 2 bottles of water at all times. Reason being is because you consume water at twice the rate that you would if you were just running normal. Given the fact that we've got no weapons, advisable to avoid going into the middle of the city. Now, you can sneak around if you want to, or you can just walk. The zombies won't really notice you unless you're really close, like this one here. He's got a screwdriver. This will also teach you to be very observant as well. You'll be able to see and identify weapons and tools by their usefulness pretty much as soon as you spot them. Rosewood is not a good place to start, however, unfortunately. Now, this is going to be risky. Now, I can't see anything past these trees. Oh, that was a little bit dangerous. Okay, so you saw what happened just there. You should never run around the corner of a building while you are at the wall. It is a bad idea. It is dangerous. It will almost certainly get you killed. Also, try to avoid running close to zombies, because that will likely also get you killed. If they don't manage to grab you on the way past, they will very likely manage to trip you. As you can see, this side of the fence is kind of dangerous. I could have jumped over the wooden fence before, but because I can't see, it's too risky. Now, the packs of zombies in this area are usually pretty small. So I can see there's a zombie there with an axe. That's my target. But we're not going to do anything too risky. What we're going to do is we're going to let them spot us, one at a time if we can help it. Now that one snuck up on me. And because I didn't react fast enough, it attracted 3 of them. So... okay, that's a pretty good time to leave. And that was because I made a mistake. Now, fire station is also a pretty good place to find weapons, tools, that sort of thing. So, what we do... is we do the old bait and switch. Catcher wise. So what we're doing, I'm luring all of them over. There's quite a lot of Fireman Sams. Quite a lot, holy shit. There's another one with an axe, so this is one of the reasons why I came here as well, because Molly, fireman, so she has, he'd want an axe. Yes, Molly is devastated right now, seeing the people, the men and women that she used to work with, saving lives, trying to consume her. Now, if we're lucky, the bulk of them followed us. See. God damn, the hitboxes are so goddamn stupid right now. If we're quick. No, no. This guy's very quick. Come on out, guys. This one's alone, so I might have time. As you can see, she's tired because we had to sleep in a chair. Just like Grandpa used to do. Now, we've got a bit of a lucky break there. That zombie's moving away from the window. It gives us a second. Done. There's usually meds in here, that's good. We might find tools in there. We usually find tools in here. So, we've got a screwdriver, good. You can use a club hammer if you want to, it's a good alternative weapon. You can, I don't think you can actually use it as a hammer. There we go, we don't even need, we can use the, got a hammer. And we got nails and a rope. In any case, that is pretty much how you do. No worries at all, Punky. I'm glad. I hope you have a good day. Now I can. I should probably also finish up as well because it's been 13 hours and I've got work this evening. Now, as you can see, there's no zombies near us. Now we're going to go check this locker. We're going to go check these lockers, see if they've got any... Whoop, hello. There's a duffel bag. So now we can be a little bit more relaxed about how much we pick up. Also, I pick up hats. I like the cowboy hat. You can use any hat that you want. Simply because they all do the same thing. The 100 scratch proof, scratch and bite proof doesn't mean shit anymore. Or at all, actually. Okay, we've got a proper hammer, one that's in good condition. If you want to read magazines, you can. Me personally. So anything that you want to find quickly, the next time that you come back, just place it on the floor. Nice and easy. Place it on the floor. You can always grab the empty gas can because, as you saw, we had a vehicle in the city. No worries at all, Vein Seeker. Great to see you. I hope you have a great time, a great night, great sleep. Even hope you recover well. All right, nails, always handy. So, as I said, anything that you want to be able to find quickly the next time that you come back, just grab it off the shelf or out of the container and drop it on the floor. That way you will see it immediately the next time you come back. If you don't drop it on the floor, you won't find it again. Or it'll take a long time. So, got to bear that in mind. If you want medical supplies, from here, they're relatively easy to find. Vitamins are pretty much a must. Antibiotics. Infection generally just makes you... just means that your wound will take a longer time to heal. Which means that you will spend more time in pain, which means that you will spend more time less effective in combat. So you want to treat them as best as possible where you can. Admittedly, that can be difficult. Now, I know that this building is generally pretty busy, so I'm trying to be as slow and as quiet as possible. Hopefully most of the zombies are downstairs. If they are, we're in luck. Fitting music. It is very, it's kind of stealthy music, isn't it? Now, of course, I'm using the hard of hearing trait, so I don't know where zombies are in relation to me at the moment. There's a zombie there, and there's one beating on that door there. I can see it from here. We might get lucky and find some food in here. Sometimes you find weapons, ammunition, that sort of thing. We found another bottle of water, so we're in luck. A bottle of wine is also good. Mac and cheese. Now, don't go too crazy loading up on food here. That will always cause you problems. Now, if you're using very underweight, you want to increase your weight relatively quickly. But you've got to calculate. What looks like a nice pair of new pants, the zombie further up there. I really wish that you could use the pole to slide down. Now, because I am tired, and because the I saw you mentioned that it looked like a nice new pair of pants. I didn't see one unless you were talking about the zombie there that's beating on the door. In any case, in this situation, because there are zombies downstairs and I am tired, I won't be picking a fight with that one. There are also likely zombies in here. That there's a locker room which usually has that's a pretty good indication the zombies actually spotted me, but what we're gonna do, place an armchair by the bedroom. 690 calories and 1,680. So we're just gonna consume this entire tub of melted ice cream. And then I don't know what time it is, but it's definitely time for Molly to hit the hay because we're in a bit of trouble here. Now in this situation, because I know that there is still daylight left, I know that Molly's going to wake up during the night. Especially if zombies are beating on doors, it's going to interrupt her sleep. So we just take some sleeping pills. I'm going to have to do a highlight of this so that the people get to sit down and watch. So we do it again. We've taken the sleeping pills. Fortunately, the fire station comes packed with medical supplies. Next, we go back to sleep again. We're going to wake up with with either daylight left, or we're going to wake up in pitch black. So it is still dark. We're not going to go out there and risk taking on zombies when we can't see anything, so we're going to just take sleeping pills and go back to sleep. Now, ideally, I don't want to waste this this area because as I've already slept in it once, it means that I can't use this area again. If I was using this this challenge seriously, or this game seriously, I wouldn't be able to use this place again after using it again tonight. Yeah. So, important details to remember is that in the beginning, I got the very worst of luck that you could ever get, with the exception of if I was to spawn out in the middle of nowhere with no food and no water containers. We didn't have a house, which meant we had no time to loot to begin with. So that made things incredibly difficult. You start with no weapons, no tools, no food, no water container, no bag, nothing. We were forced to run into the city center. We were confronted with a couple of zombies that had weapons and tools attached to them. You could see them. And you might think when you see them that you could kite them around and trick them around and so on and so forth. No, your number one concern for your first day would be to find somewhere to sleep. Because remembering you start at 9 AM on the One Painful Year or you start at 9 AM on your first day, which means you've got a very limited amount of time to get to shelter. Once it gets to about 7 PM for 1900 hours, it starts getting really dark, and after 8 PM or 2000 hours, you won't be able to see much at all. It's important First and foremost, to make sure that you find shelter before anything else. Obviously, you want to find water containers and so on and so forth. If you have time and if you're being pursued, make a judgment. If you come across a shop while you're being chased by a pack of zombies, determine whether or not you can quickly run in, find a bottle of water or a bottle of pop or something like that, and grab it. Now remember, important element is that when your character gets thirsty, all you need to do is take a quarter sip of the pop can. That will tie you over until the next time you get thirsty, and just keep doing that until you can reliably find a source of water. Unless you've only got the one can of pop, in which case you've got to hope that 4 quarters will be enough to tie you over. We did see as well that I got into a second-story building and was pretty much trapped in there. I managed to sneak into a bathroom, and which happened to have a zombie in it. And I managed to fill up a water bottle without the zombie noticing, and then sneaking back out. I would not recommend trying to do that. That was me pulling off a ballsy move that I was a little bit overconfident in myself, so which worked out. Secondly, make a judgment as well when it comes to a second-story building. You will survive a fall from a second story if you are not carrying too much. If you're not carrying too much, you can always pick up a water dispenser, and once the coast is clear, you can also drop the water dispenser down if you every time that the coast is clear if you need a drink. No, Sudden Life. I was giving a brief tutorial on how to get started in the One Painful Year challenge, because the One Painful Year challenge is excessively difficult, and arguably the hardest part of it is the beginning when you don't have anything. I wanted to give people a bit of a rundown on how to do it before I finish up. In any case, we have taken refuge in the fire station because I was forced to sleep in a chair, which means you don't get very much rest at all. Remember, in order, you will get your least amount of rest in a chair. You will get more rest in a tent, but still less than you will get in a bed. A bed is always your best bet when it comes to getting a full night's rest. If you're using Wakeful or Restless Sleeper, it's very rare that you will ever sleep a full night. You will sleep at most maybe 5 hours. In this situation, I have used an item of furniture to barricade a door. Now remember, very important, just because you've barricaded the door doesn't necessarily mean that you won't be that you will be 100% safe. Zombies can break any item that you have crafted and any furniture that you have moved. However, they will actively ignore any furniture that was there to begin with. Yes, everything is fine. Well, I decided I was going to give Punky and a few others a bit of a lesson in how to get started in the One Painful Year challenge. I'm not going to make this go on any longer. This is going to be a tutorial character. If people need other tutorial, if you can think of any other tutorial ideas that would be good, then I am more than happy to make a stream of it. And then I can also cut it down and condense it, and make it into a tutorial video on YouTube as well, in case people are interested in seeing that. So in any case, we've taken refuge in the fire station currently. We've found some meds, 1 or 2 tools. We haven't found a decent weapon yet. I mean, the hammer makes a good weapon temporarily, but it's not something you want to be using long term because of its other applications. Also, the screwdriver is pretty unreliable as well, so I wouldn't be using that as a weapon myself, unless you're attaching it to a spear, in which case then it does become pretty useful. Otherwise, I can pretty confidently say that I'm in a relatively safe enough space to call it here. I'm going to quit out from this